and that which led later on into the development of Neoplatonism. So those Christian responses are pretty obvious. Now, the one remaining thing I want to draw your attention to is the fact that when Paul was in Athens on his second missionary journey, you remember he met with some of the Greek philosophers on Mars Hill, and we're told that these were, at least some of them, Epicureans and Stoics. Now, in the light of what you know about the Epicureans and Stoics, listen to what Paul said. Okay? Men of Athens, I perceive that you are in every way very religious. Well, Stoicism, yes. King James translated superstitious, which would have been playing to the Epicurean crowd because they were against all kinds of superstition, remember? They wanted a down-to-earth materialism to free them from all the fears that superstitious beliefs create. But just his introduction is intended to grab attention, identify with them. As I passed along and observed the objects of your worship, I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God. Now, anybody who would be drawing attention to an unknown God, plainly would want to have some strong view of knowledge, like the Stoics. Ignorance is the source of problems. Unknown God. What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you. God who made the world and everything in it, being Lord of heaven and earth, and any Stoic can agree with that, does not live in shrines made by men, and the Epicurean repudiation of religious superstitions could hardly agree with that. Nor is he served by human hands as though he needed anything, seeing he gives to all men life and breath and everything. Life and breath, that's logos. And everything. So he's playing to two sets of music at the same time. Nor is he served by human hands, let's see. And he made from one every nation of men to live on the face of the earth. From the one. The one. Logos. Every nation of men. And the Stoics of Roman times were talking of a world citizenship because of one logos. Okay. Having determined allotted periods and the bounds of their habitation, the ordered creation, that they should seek God in the hope that they might feel after him and find him. He's not far from any of us. For in him we live and move and have our being, as some of your prophets have said, for we are his offspring. That's from Cleanthes' hymn to Zeus. I just read it to you. He's quoting Cleanthes' hymn to Zeus, the Stoic poet. Being then God's offspring, we ought not to think that the deity is like gold or silver or stone, a representation by the art and imagination of man. And the Epicureans are cheering at that one. The times of ignorance God has overlooked, but now he commands all men everywhere to repent, because he's fixed a day by which he will judge the world. And the Stoic had some idea of this cycle of disruption that's coming, by which he has given assurance in that he raised man from the dead, has given assurance by raising him from the dead. When they heard of the resurrection of the dead, they took a rain check. What Greek wants a resurrected body? An attitude of detachment for the Stoics. And the Epicureans wanted to turn off the whole notion of future life. Too much to worry about if that's the case. Well, Paul obviously shows familiarity with the Stoic thing. How? Why? The city of Tarsus was one of the seats of Stoic philosophy. One of the major seats in the first century. So Saul, apparently, grew up in a context where he would, in growing up in town, have been acquainted with Stoicism. Which acquaintance stood in good stead. That sermon on Mars Hill has been taken by New Testament writers, New Testament commentators in a couple of different ways. Some have said that when he left Athens and went to Corinth, he got down to brass tacks, determining to know nothing but Jesus Christ and him crucified. That he gave up on addressing the intellectuals. Others disagree, and I guess I'm inclined to disagree. He had two different audiences. He had an audience of intellectuals in Athens. He went up Mars Hill, and it was quite a climb. He knew when you get there, and he got there. And he knew perfectly well that at Corinth he had the sailors in from all over the world visiting the brothels. And the church influenced by the moral climate of the time. So two different audiences, two different emphases. But at least Paul's response is very plain, very perceptive. His strategy apparently to identify with fragments of truth that he saw in Stoicism, Epicureanism, but to recast them into a different context, restoring them to a true context. Now, that's precisely what later on Justin Martyr and Clement of Alexandria are going to say, when they tell us that all truth is God's truth, no matter where it's found. And the task of the Christian is to regather these fragments and restore them to the body of the whole from which they have been stolen. You get it? That's where the notion of all truth is God's truth comes from, in this very context.